Weather for Weather Geeks time here on Wednesday, February the 3rd. A record-breaking Wednesday as expected. The old record of 55 didn't stand a chance today. We got to 62 this afternoon. The first time we've eclipsed 60 in February in Youngstown in 5 years. It's been since 2011, and actually 62, our warmest overall February temperature since 2009. So it's been about, 7 years since we've been as warm as we were today in the month of February. All right, good news for you Android users. The Storm Tracker 21 app is now available for Android users. Went into the Google Play Store last night. If you are an iOS user, an Apple user, your iPhones, your iPads, the app should be available in 5 to perhaps as much as 10 days. It takes a little longer to get the approval process taken care of with Apple, but if you use an Android device, you can go download the app right now. Just go to the Google Play Store and search for Storm Tracker 21 and check it out and give me some feedback. Hit me up on Facebook or on Twitter and let me know what you think. Let me know what you think could be improved, and we will go from there. So real excited about that. The Storm Tracker 21 app now live for Android users. All right, last night, a rainy night as expected. Check out some of these rain totals from last night. We touched about 3/4 of an inch or a little more in much of Columbiana County, much of Mahoning County as well. There's a couple of bad readings on here, including Austintown and Hermitage, where some people's rain gauges aren't registering. But Newton Falls, 0.7, over towards Kent, 3/4 of an inch, and Alliance at 0.62. So a good soaker last night. But the rain, of course, long gone, and it turned out to be a great day as expected today. We got into this warm, dry sector for a lot of the afternoon. The sun was out. It was blustery, but with temperatures in the lower 60s. A lot of people were out and about, treating it like an April day today. Of course, it's February, and you know this kind of thing isn't going to last much longer. So here comes the cloud bank, and yeah, that's a cold front lurking across western Ohio, and this is coming east, and it's going to send us back to where we should be in February by tomorrow. But what a contrast this year to last year. On February 3rd of last year, our snow depth reported at the airport was 15 inches. Of course, we have nothing on the ground this year. Temperatures weren't all that bad just yet in the first few days of February last year, but the middle and latter portions of February were brutal, and it made it the coldest February on record in Youngstown. This month starting out way different. Our coolest day so far this month was yesterday at 49 degrees. So what's the deal here? A lot of snark out there about global warming and all that stuff, but this isn't all that atypical of an El Nino season. Actually, it's the strongest El Nino on record, but it's behaving, generally speaking, as you would expect a strong El Nino in eastern Ohio and western PA. And that means largely mild weather and largely snow-free weather. Some of our least snowy winters have been in strong El Nino seasons. And this year takes the cake so far. I think we'll see some snow next week. Not a big storm, but we're going to get some snow accumulation as we go into next week. All right, cold fronts pushing through Ohio. It's kind of along I-71 right now. Even starting to cool off from north to south across our viewing area, as I recorded this at 7 p.m., already down to 45 at the airport. But Pittsburgh's still at 58, Morgantown's at 60, and the cold air will continue advecting in as we go through the night tonight. So you're going to wake up tomorrow morning with temperatures pretty close to freezing. Still above average for an overnight low, but definitely different than this morning. Look at the cold out across the Midwest. Nothing atypical for this time of the year, of course. But this cold shot that comes tomorrow only sends us back to about average, and then it's going to warm up again. Notice out in the Dakotas, you have temperatures in parts of South and North Dakota that are up into the 30s, which is above average for them. That air is going to come in here for Friday and the weekend. In the meantime, though, tonight, not only will it cool off, but there could be some flurries around late tonight and first thing tomorrow morning. The breeze will continue to diminish. Tomorrow, just a cloudy day. There can be a flurry at any point. Might get a little candy coating on some car tops if you get a little heavier snow shower. No big deal. Friday's a better day, though, as we are in between systems. We're going to start to see a southerly wind try to develop. We'll get into the middle upper 30s on Friday with a fair amount of sunshine. Also, a fair amount of sunshine on Saturday. Now, our Futurecast model here has some clouds around. I think it's a little overdone with the clouds. Still looking at a fairly sunny day. This next front has very little consequence for our area. It's going to go through probably dry Saturday night, maybe a stray flurry, but that is about it. Pretty inconsequential front overall. All right, much advertised pattern change for next week. The jet stream is definitely going to change configuration here as a lobe of the polar vortex ejects south out of the polar regions and comes down into central and southern parts of Canada. We're going to get into a pattern next week that we saw a lot last winter. Now, I've been mentioning this a few times lately. The Great Lakes have virtually no ice on them, or very little. Last year at this time, they were virtually frozen over, especially Lake Erie. When the lakes are frozen over like that, they don't modify these Arctic air masses. But with the lakes wide open right now, the air is going to come across those lakes and warm some, modify some. And so this air mass will not have the bite to it that it could had we had a colder December and January. Will that mean more lake effect snow? It just depends on several factors, but the lakes will be wide open for business next week. I think the snow belts will get some accumulations, but will it be a gargantuan event? No, probably not. A lot of nickel and dime stuff across the region for next week. All right, so after a nice weekend, here's what the GFS shows next week. Here's this clipper, kind of the leading edge of the cold air, coming our way Sunday night and into Monday. Here's Monday morning. Low pressure across Lake Superior, and flurries and snow showers. Gusty winds on Monday. It's going to be a blustery day. Now, the GFS isn't showing this, but I think there could actually be a rain shower trying to mix in, particularly at the onset here. The atmospheric thermal profiles here might support a little rain at first. But as the atmosphere continues to cool, this will just change over to flurries and snow showers for a lot of midweek. Again, nickel and dime stuff. Could some places over the course of 3 or 4 days get a couple of inches of snow? That's a possibility. But for a lot of us, this will be fresh coatings from time to time. Some nasty winds as well. By Wednesday morning, we still have this kind of semi-persistent low parked over Niagara Falls and cold northwest winds, flurry, snow showers. It's going to look and feel like the middle of winter for a lot of next week. And at the end of next week, more of the same. Northwest flow, flurry, snow showers, and cold temperatures. Here's a look at the 16-day GFS ensemble numbers. Here's the heart of the cold next week. And these numbers aren't super impressive. I mean, it's not like we're going to have a high of 10 any of these days. Could some of our highs be lower than these numbers? Sure, that's a possibility. But this air mass is cold. Some of the coldest air we've had for the season. Some of the most sustained cold we've had for the season. But it's really nothing to write home about otherwise. And as I've been saying the last couple of days, the cold lifts out. As we go towards the last 10 days of February, the pattern's going to evolve again into one that's not going to favor much cold weather. A cold day here and there maybe, but not much sustained cold. So our opportunity to get some snow is next week. It's not going to be a big storm at any point. It might be just some nickel and dime, flurries, snow showers, that kind of a thing. So thank you for watching the Wednesday night weather for Weather Geeks. More of this kind of stuff coming up tomorrow evening on my weather blog at wfmja.com/weather. And, of course, you can watch Weather for Weather Geeks on your 21 Storm Tracker app. Again, if you're an Android user, be sure and download that and send me some feedback. I'll see you tonight on 21 News at 11. Have a great night.